All right, we're moving right along now. Coming up next will be the head coach of the Locust Fork Hornets, Coach Chris Musso. So if you would come up at this time and introduce your players. Coach Musso goes into his 4th year at Locust Fork and has done a great job at Locust Fork.
Again, we would like to thank all the media for everything that you guys do and for taking care of these athletes. These athletes put in thousands of hours that no one ever sees, and anytime we can do something to benefit them, I think it's a plus. Also, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all the coaches in the room. Most of the coaches in this room are coaches because of coaches, and the hard work and the work ethic that our coaches taught me helped me decide to become a coach. And so I certainly appreciate all the hard work the coaches put in. I'd like to thank our radio crew. On the way up here, we were talking about the end of last season, and Drew, I'll introduce those guys in a moment, but Drew was talking about the very last game. It came down to the PAT, and Drew blocked the PAT. We won the game 21-20, and he was running the sideline. He said one of the first things he thought was, I wonder what Greg said on the radio when I blocked that. And so today I have with me Chase Rice. He's our quarterback. He's the only quarterback that we've ever had at Locust Fork back for 2 years to run our offense, and so we're super excited to have him back. He also doubles and plays linebacker, and so not too many quarterbacks do that, but he's a pretty tough kid, and he does that for us. And then Drew Rogers, and again, Drew's going to be one of the only fullbacks that we've had for 2 years at Locust Fork, and Drew's a junior. Chase is a senior. Drew also is our middle linebacker, and we started him 2 years ago. We started him in the playoffs as a freshman at our middle linebacker, and he led the team in tackles. And so he's done a fantastic job. We're super happy to have both of these guys on our staff, on our team. I used to feel like that I was the hardest worker in our football program, and this team has kind of changed my thoughts a little bit. And when I say that, this past week we had training camp, and I was able to lose 10 pounds during the week, but these guys have outworked me all year, and watching them work as hard as they work motivates me and pushes each other. As far as our team is concerned, I feel like we're not sure how many wins and losses we'll have, but I know that in the future these guys are going to be successful people, because it's the hardest working group of kids that I've ever been around. And they work in the weight room, they work in speed. When we're doing the speed and agility, one of the illustrations I give is the other day I had given the coaches off because we were doing training camp in the evening, and I had to do the conditioning by myself. And so when we do that, we normally split them in 2 groups. One group pulls tires and one group runs up hills and down hills. And so I was just with the tires, and I told the guys that when they were finished just to go up and run the up hills and down hills. And I never had to move from where I was. And these guys, the best players on our team, and not just these guys, the other guys that are there as well, they led that. And I never had to get onto one person. I thought kind of when we were running the sprints, I thought one person was kind of not giving the effort that we require of our team. And one of the guys that had finished come down and said, Coach, he's cramping. That's why he's doing that. We've already checked him. And so they work very hard. Again, that doesn't mean that they'll be great football players, but I know that they'll be great men, and that's important. And so I'm super proud of all of them. We have most of our guys back from last year, and I'll be honest with you, when all these coaches were talking about how many they had back and from their team, we really don't focus too much on that. I know that Chase is back and Drew's back, but as I went and started looking, I think we may have had, I looked back there, I think we had 2 seniors that we lost on offense from the end of the year, and then I think we had 5 maybe that we lost on defense. And so certainly excited about the group. We don't do much 7-on-7 in the summertime with what we do. We did go to Pell City and do a 7-on-7 with them, and had a good day of OTA work, I guess is what you call it, and very proud of everything that these guys have worked for. And so we're going down from Class 4A to 3A. There's one team on our schedule that we've played last year. Everybody else will be new to us. We open up in week 0, and we're going to play Carbon Hill, and we know absolutely nothing about them. They have a new coach, and they didn't play a spring game, and so we're playing them in 0 weeks, so we'll just have to get on the field and see what they do. And so tremendous challenge for our coaches. Again, our region is very tough. Every team in there is a great coach and great players, and we're going to have to play well to stay in there with any of those guys. And so, again, super proud to be here. I think it's great. Anytime you can do anything for high school athletes, I think it's tremendous. And I'm going to let these guys, I think Drew wants to talk. I think Chase wants to be quiet on the field. It's a little bit different. Chase wants to do all the talking, and Chase wants to do all the talking, and Drew wants to be quiet. But today I'm going to let Drew talk. So, Drew, you can come up and talk.
I just want to thank all y'all for having us. Thank you, Greg, and the rest of the radio station for putting this together. Thank you, Coach Musso, for having us. We're very thankful for Coach Musso and instilling that work ethic in us to not only be good football players, but to be good men. And we know that if football doesn't work out, we will be successful in the workforce because Coach Musso has instilled in us to be hardworking young men. We've been working really hard ever since last season ended. We jumped right back to it, and we're ready to just show everyone what we're capable of and what we can do.
All right. Again, two great young men, and I'm willing to take any questions that you may have.
You knew I was going to pick on you.
That's good.
Hey, the first 3 games this year, the first 2 teams, Locust Fork has never faced. The third game, Vinemont, they've played twice, and it's been 13 years. And you talked about the challenge of going against Carbon Hill without any knowledge of what they do. This year's schedule, too, you're playing 10 straight weeks instead of that bye week in the middle. What's your feelings about all that?
Well, first, with the first 2 opponents, or first 3 opponents, we'll take fall camp, and we're just going to worry about us and try to make our guys make sure they're fundamentally sound. We're going to run our offense, and we'll run it against the different looks that we think we'll see, and then we'll run our defense. We've got to prepare for spread, and we've got to prepare for Pisgah's going to be too tight and double wing, and so we'll have to prepare for that. And then Vinemont's a spread team, so they'll throw it a little bit. So all of those are tremendous challenges for us because all of those coaches do a great job, and the new coach at Pisgah used to be on my staff at another school, and so he'll bring a well-coached team as well. And so certainly big challenges. And again, with Carbon Hill, a new coach, and he's from their school, and he's bringing a lot of excitement. And so I know we've got a work cut out for us. We'll have to do a really good job in fall camp to try to hang in there with those guys. And this year we are playing 10 straight weeks, and we kind of like that a little bit better. In the past, we took the week 5 off, and originally I had planned to do the week 5, and then when we started doing scheduling, we started losing some games and had to pick up whoever we could get, and so it ended up us taking Weaver and 5. And in the past, we've liked that week 5. I'll say I've liked the week 5. I don't think the players liked it, and the assistant coaches hated it, and so they asked me not to do it. But I liked it just for a time to regroup, and we took preseason, prepared for the first 5 games, and we tried to took that week and recoup and look at a little bit of the next 5. And but this year we've changed that, and so we're going to play 10 straight, and so we're going to take week 10 off, which is okay too. And so if we're fortunate enough to be one of the teams that get in the playoffs, then we'll have that opportunity to prepare that week for whoever we might see in the first round.
Probably should ask this question to every coach because place kicking is such a challenge at the high school level, and the smaller the school, the tougher it is to find a kicker. And you touched on the challenges of last year, what it cost the team, and perhaps in victories. Watching the spring game this year, it looked like you found a young man that had a chance to not only give you some place kicking opportunities, but give you a little distance and accuracy at the same time. Is that still a positive going into the season?
Absolutely. These guys will tell you they love him. He's done a great job for us, and his name is Jose Hernandez, and he can smash it, and he can kick it. At practice, he's making 52 or 53-yard field goals, and he puts it in the end zone kickoffs, and so your team immediately gets better. And at Pell City, he got out and was playing some DB and jumped one time, and all the kids said, "Hey, whoa, get Jose out. We want him over there. We don't want him out there playing 7-on-7. We want to make sure he's taken care of." But he does a great job. He's a great kid. He makes every workout. He's not just there on days that we kick, and he's there every day. He works really hard, and has really been a blessing to our program, and he's done a great job kicking for us, and he'll do all of our kicking duties. I think Drew's going to end up doing most of our punting duties, and he does a great job with that. And but the kickoffs and the PAT and everything will be taken care of by Jose, so far unless Drew beats him out. But you know, I think they'll tell you.
Anybody else? All right.
Thank you guys again.
Thank you. Thank you, guys, and wish y'all very much success this year.